Hello, my most amazing artists. Okay, you've made your color chart. You know the colors. We've gotten into the crayons. Now what? I still don't understand. I mean, these crayons, yeah, they can make a dark shade and a light shade, but Mrs. Evans, come on. I've got some more techniques to show you today that are gonna hopefully brighten your world and make coloring a lot more exciting for you. So come along on our little journey. All right, friends, so we have gone through some crayon training with sharpening. We've learned the history of crayons. We've made a color chart. Now what? How is that really gonna help us with our coloring? Well, I've got one more video for you, and this one is all techniques about how to take your coloring to the next level. So grab your crayons, grab some scrap paper from the junk mail or just some copy paper you might have laying around, and let's have some fun with crayons. All right, first thing I'm gonna do is just kind of spread these out a little bit. I know you can't really see that, but they're up here above me, just so I can see the colors really quickly. Now, I don't want them to roll off the table, so I've kind of corralled them a little bit. All right, first thing I'm gonna show you is one of the easiest things to do, and it is value. How dark can you go? How light can you go? So with a crayon, you can go really, really light. And then I'm gonna leave a place here in the middle, and you can go really, really dark. And it's like you have two different colors. You can also go medium. And now you've got basically three different colors, which is pretty awesome. Let's try that with one other color. I want to try that with that Bluetiful color. Bluetiful and I are gonna have a good relationship, I can tell. So I'm gonna go really light, really dark, and then something in between, medium. Oh, that's cool. It's like you get three different colors from one crayon, or shades, I should say, or values. All right, the next thing we can do is layer. You can layer colors. I did a video about this, but I didn't really do a lot with crayons. I want to show you some more. So I'm gonna start with a light color, and you can do it as dark or as light as you want. And then I'm gonna color the opposite way over that color. And I get a whole new color. Pretty sweet, huh? Let's try it with like something really obvious, maybe like a red and a purple. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do red and purple. Let's see what happens. Ooh, this is exciting. And yeah, I keep getting little bits of pieces of wax on my paper, but that's okay. So I'm not gonna push really hard when I'm doing dark colors, because if I saturate the paper with the wax, it's gonna be harder to see the other layer on there. So I didn't push very hard. And then I kind of cross hatch the other direction. Ooh, that looks cool. So you can layer your colors. You can also do contrast. Let's talk about contrast. Contrast. So a lot of you might know this technique already because it's used a lot in coloring books, where you outline it really, really heavily, and then you go really lightly inside. I remember first seeing this when I was in probably kindergarten or first grade from an older girl who was babysitting me, and I just thought it was the coolest thing I had ever seen. She had a coloring book and she was outlining everything really dark, and then going in and coloring really, really lightly inside. All right, but what if you don't want to just do all the same color? You can do variety. I have to pause, make sure you can still see this on the camera. So here I've got red, and I'm gonna do that really dark. And purple. And let me do some, I don't know, let me do some brown. There we go. So now I'm gonna do like a lighter, I might do like pink for the red. Look at that. I'm gonna do the blue-green with brown. I'm gonna do this yellow-green with the purple. Okay. Now let's talk about doing some warm and cold colors from the color wheel. We talked about this a little bit in class. Let's start with warm colors. And they are, let me find red, orange, and yellow. Very easy. Don't get any of the red violets or orange violets or yellow greens, just red, orange, yellow. So it's gonna be warm colors. I'm gonna start with the lightest, which is yellow. Then I'm gonna go with orange and red. These are hot, sweaty colors. They remind me of the summertime. Great colors. Then I'm gonna reserve those and move to cool colors or cold colors. So I need green, blue, not beautiful. Get out of here, beautiful. We don't need you right now. Blue and purple or violet. Cool or cold colors. So we've got, let's see, I want to do these a little bit differently. I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to do purple, so darkest to lightest, and I'm going to tell you why here in just a minute. Blue and green. So these are colors that remind me of wintertime, cold water, stuff like that. Now, when I did them the opposite, I went lightest to darkest, darkest to lightest. This is actually how they line up on the color wheel, and they're actually opposite right now. This is how they would be on the color wheel. They're opposites. So now we're gonna do opposites. Let me get a... All right, so for instance, if I do, I'm gonna start with purple. The opposite of purple is yellow. So I'm just gonna fill that in the middle. And yeah, yellow tends to pick up darker colors surrounding it and blend them. That's just the nature of that color. Okay, so I've used yellow and purple. They are opposites. Now I'm gonna use blue and orange. Blue and orange are opposites, or orange and blue. This time I did it the other way. I put the light color first and the dark color in the middle. And then, of course, you guys probably know Christmas colors are opposites. Green and red. Okay, this is just one page of the fun that we can have. Let's go to the next page. Let me go over this real quick. We got value, layering, contrast, variety, warm and cold colors, and then their opposites. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is do about 3 more things to do a little more excitement in your coloring. This first one I'm gonna do, make sure you can see, oh, nope, is texture. Texture means how something feels or how it looks like it might feel, or maybe the surface of it looks different. So let's see, I'm gonna get this purple and I'm doing it lightly. Don't wanna go very dark because I'm gonna be layering. And I'm gonna do some little scales. There's some scaly texture. Let me get pink. Something else really cool about texture, you can put something bumpy underneath your paper, and this paper is kind of doing it with my cutting mat, and get texture just by rubbing the crayon on it. I think I did a video about that with leaves. It was pretty fun. This time I can go one way and then come back and go the other way. Kind of a cross-hatching texture. I can also do some really fun texture. What about hair? Animal fur, people hair. Okay, and lastly, let's do, where's my blue-green? Make sure this is still on the camera. Okay. Could do something fun with this one. Get my black. Could make little swirlies. Or even just polka dots. Okay, now we're gonna do cross hatching, and then the very last technique will be blending. I used Beautiful a million times. Let's use red violet. So hatching is going one way, and cross hatching is going over the opposite way. So for instance, if I go like this, that's hatching. If I do this, and then I go back over it, that's cross hatching because they're crossing each other. So that's a really cool way to get to color stuff. And you can do it closer together. Let me get a different color and I'll demonstrate that. So for instance, you can do it lighter and then come in very close together. And it actually has a really cool look to it, almost like fabric or burlap. Okay, last thing we're going to talk about is blending. That's so fun. Let me get, you need 2 colors for blending, a light and a dark. So I've got pink, and I'm probably going to use this maybe violet red. Sure. So let's do some blending. Get an orange. This one takes a little bit of practice. So practice it on a spare piece of paper before you do it in a special coloring page. So when I do my first lighter color, make sure you can see that, I'm actually going to make it a little bit longer. There's a middle part here that's going to be blended. Then my darker color is going to go down here on the bottom. And then I'm going to make my darker color come up through here in the middle, just like so. Then I'm going to go back and fill in, maybe make my color a little bit darker down there and blend it in. And I'm going to bring my light color in and blend it into the top. And there we go. Let me do that with an orange, because I've got like a light orange, yeah, light orange and a dark orange. Let's do it with these colors. Ooh, getting wax everywhere. So I'm going to start lightly. It's important you start lightly so the wax can overlap. Make your middle part where you're going to be overlapping. Then get your darker color, make the bottom, and then overlap the middle. Go back to the bottom, make it a little bit darker. It's just kind of looking at it with your eye and seeing how things are looking. It just takes some practice. Oh, there we go. Okay. I hope you have fun with all these techniques, and I hope that you can practice them today or whenever you have some free time. Don't forget to try to add texture, practice some cross hatching, and practice some blending along with the other things that we did. And I hope you have a really great time with your crayons, friends. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.